Good evening, I'm DK Roster. Welcome back to the TTT News. Now, there is a new digital magazine on the map, and I use the word map wholeheartedly and intentionally because the intro to that magazine says that the West Indies can easily be overlooked on the map, but the influence that the culture imparts, it is as big as any continent. We are speaking with the editor-in-chief this evening. His name is Kyle, and we call Kyle Difference Maker Grant. Hello, Mr. Grant, how you doing? Kyle, can you hear me?
Fine, thanks for having me.
Oh, what pleasure. No.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yes, great. So it seems as though some people are downsizing, some people are being a little careful with their pennies during the pandemic. What is the mission, or how did you decide, okay, well, this is something that we're going to do in terms of having the West Indies magazine?
Listen, West Indies culture is something that is unique. And I think that any program that can aid in getting the world to know West Indian culture a lot more is indeed a platform to pursue. And that is what we magazine. It gives people an opportunity to escape. During the pandemic, you know, we have the West Indian or Caribbean diaspora scattered throughout the globe, some unable to come home. So I hope this magazine will give them quench that nostalgia, and that they, they encourage wherever they are during the pandemic.
How long have you been working on getting this magazine out, Kyle?
Pardon?
How long have you been working on getting the magazine out, and what were some of the things that you would have had to go through in order to reach to the point where you say, oh, yes, we have the first edition out?
I would say it took a couple of years, to be honest, because it was a journey that the magazine just was a result of both positive elements and negative elements. So we had people who, I was a part of the creative industry as a manager, and I had to release certain relationships to progress. As we all have to do in life, you have to grow, you have to let go of certain things. And two people along that journey called me a nobody. Now, it's easy to take that and, feel depressed or be overwhelmed with the negativity. But what I decided to do, and the pandemic served as a catalyst, was use both the people who encourage and are positive, as well as the negative, put it together, use the resources at my disposal, and that is what produced the fruit, which is We Magazine. Along the way, I also met a lot of people who would help with this. Afia Lamont, the layout and presentation designer, she came along the journey as well. She was unemployed at the time, so the magazine served as a means of employment, some sort of financial relief for such a talented person. And the other people I met on that, I would say, 2 to 3 year journey in the creative industry. It ranged from artists from Nevis, Vaughan and Slim, designer from Trinidad, who's on the cover, Lizelle Freundfelder of the Freundfelder Designs, Hannah Kalen, a model, photographer Daryl Batiste from Trinidad, Vincentian and St. Vincent and Grenadine as well. Gian Marie Thompson from Trinidad, teaching us how to make macaroni. Latoya from Jamaica. It's just a combination of so many different elements, people, sights, smell, taste. So, when you read the magazine, it's more than just reading. I wanted to appeal to the 5 senses. I wanted it to taste, I wanted it to smell, I wanted it to make the Caribbean tangible. Not just visually, but you could feel the Caribbean. So We Magazine is truly more than a lifestyle magazine. It's more experience.
And I want to get to some of those other senses that you'll be engaging with through the magazine, but you called out a great deal of people, members of the team. Is it that over that 2 to 3 year period, you were looking for specific individuals, or these people just kind of came up in your life and they said, oh, this is a good person to keep in mind for what I'm doing when I'm doing it? How did that team take shape?
Man, I would have to say it was destiny, you know, as cliche and corny as it may sound. Once you put your mind to something, these different elements just fall into place. I'll be totally honest with you. All I did was put myself in the position for these things to happen. Meaning I just went from fashion shows, went to different fashion schools. I was educated by Jackie Kunhau of House of Jackie. Did her course, not to be a model, really get towards model. I did it to learn. She's a wealth of in terms of resources and knowledge. And once I attained the knowledge, I went to the different shows as I said. Along the way, I made sure and collect the phone numbers or the contacts, the Instagram handles for all these people. And when it was time, when the idea of the magazine came, it was just the natural order of things to get in contact with the people. And there was no one said no. You know, from little interaction grew into something significant.
And I like the fact that you use the word significant. How significant is it? Because a little earlier you used the term escape. How significant is it that the first edition has come about in time of a pandemic where you have borders closed, people may be getting a little stir crazy, they want to see what is happening on the outside. And what is that importance to you that the first edition is during a time like this?
That significance in this case is relative. It would mean different things to different people. For example, the team that I just called out, or all the distributors to the magazine, the magazine is a platform for them to show their skills, they exhibit their skills, whether it's as a writer or as a designer. The photographer, for example, his skill as a photographer, the model, his skill and talent as a model. The artist skill, born as them as an artist. So that is the significance to the contributors. To the Caribbean, as the intro said, as you read out, it's the Caribbean on the map, meaning giving it a platform for people all around the globe, not just Caribbean citizens that are pointed out, but people all over the globe, giving them a taste of Caribbean culture. So when the pandemic is over, they might say, you know what? I remember seeing somewhere in that wee magazine, you know, I saw something about the Caribbean that I wanted. I want to go to St. Vincent. I want to go to Trinidad and Tobago. I want to go to Jamaica, Barbados, you know. So that's the significance to people on the external, the readers, the audience that the magazine is geared to. And then there's also the economic factor or significance, where the magazine has potential to become a company on its own, where, as I just pointed out, we were able to, a few people, you know, give them relief when I say employ. So if we keep the income going on, the magazine becomes profitable and lucrative. Now we'll be able to employ people and contribute to the GDP through tourism, through marketing, through sales, and through, as I said, contributing to the human resource aspects of what a company will do. Contribute to eliminating employment relief in a bit. It gives him, you know, all the different peoples or layers of the creative industry the ability to, you know, showcase their stuff. Very, very significant when you put everything into layers, in my opinion.
Now, you keep on using the word platform, so I want to know how people can access the platform, but we will speak about that when we return from this break. We are speaking with Kyle Difference Maker Grant about We Magazine, and we have another piece of conversation on another topic to jump in when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are speaking about We Magazine, a new digital magazine, and we're speaking with the editor-in-chief, Kyle Grant. How do people find the magazine? How do people be a part of it, engage with the magazine, Kyle?
So you can find it via the staples of social media, Facebook and Instagram. You find it at We Lifestyle Magazine. It's a universal across the board. We, WI Lifestyle Magazine. And we, as it's pronounced, not spelled, it evokes our collaboration, our togetherness. A time that we should show solidarity and unity. That is the significance of the WI. As short as those two letters are, there's so much power in we.
And I laugh because when you say, when somebody wrote or read it when I was writing, now, okay, well, we were speaking with you this evening, somebody was asking what you're talking about cricket, what it's standing for. So I guess, yes, those two letters, they have a lot of import and a lot of legacy behind them as well.
Yes, and similar to the cricket team, it does stand for the West Indies. But there's something, I'll let you into a little secret, right? The cover of the magazine, the logo, is actually two V's put together to make a W. And the I is actually Roman numerals. So the E, 2, 5, so 5 and 5, 10, and then the I is 1. When you add those together, you get 11. So it really is a hidden message telling you how much pieces of content is in the magazine. There will always be 11 pieces of Caribbean content in the magazine. So 11 very significant number to the magazine. That's for personal reasons, and it will take too long to go through that. I was actually born on the 11th of April, so a couple of days ago. And so it's beyond that, but it will take too long to explain, I guess. But just to capture that, that hidden of the WI, well, technically VVI, the West Indies served as inspiration as well, the cricket, as one of the things that we do as a Caribbean people collectively. And we don't hear Jamaica, Guyana, St. Lucia, you don't hear Trinidad, you hear West Indies. When we're jumping up in the stands and the conch shell blowing, we're doing it as one Caribbean. And I'm hoping one day we can truly solidify the Caribbean identity. And I hope this magazine could serve as the seeds to make that happen.
But Kyle, you're a high science man in terms of like that VVI making 11 Roman numerals. But we have about 1 minute more on this side before we want to jump into the difference maker movement though. But in terms of, I see cuisine, I see dance, I see fashion. Is there schedule that you say, okay, well, we want to tackle this in this episode, we want to tackle this in the next edition? What goes into deciding those 11 pieces?
Listen, it's just as I said, how the team was put together, same is something that happens naturally. I put all I put my mind to, and my team put our minds to, is that we're going to produce this edition, and then the West Indian culture is so that we have a perpetual reservoir of culture and layers we could appeal to or tap into, be inspired by. So we have, Sophia Americans, as I see on the screen there, from Canada, Toronto. We have she originally from Trinidad. This piece is from Australia, Dance of the World. The writer is actually from Algeria, embellied by Mikisha, the specialist Jada Love. She told, she's a dancer who gave a little insight into her life and her struggles as a teenager and young adult. So Marty writes, she wrote the article on Iwi. This is a couple, one from Barbados, and they had a business in Holland. And they used cork, an environmentally friendly product, fire resistant, water resistant, and they produced this thing. It showed the innovation of the Caribbean, the last beachway as well, right here from Trinidad and Tobago. Two sisters, Ariel and Alisa Posad, they're making strides all around the world. And I think e-magazines puts the spot on the people. So we don't, the easiest part of it is actually getting the content, because the West is full and rich with culture. I always, I use that term, say we have a minute, but I use that term, I call West Indies the refinery of because we could take pieces from wherever it is in the world, North America, South America, Europe, and we change it into something not better, something different, something unique, something West Indian. And this magazine will capture, all layers of West India, of the West Indies.
All right, now we have 4 minutes, Kyle. What is the difference maker movement?
Difference movement is an organization used to help people in need. And it goes beyond just giving people relief, but it is also need more than just material things. So some people need, psychological help. They say going through depression, especially during the pandemic. There are people going through divorce, breakups, abuse. We have the gender-based violence is a big problem in the country. And the Difference Maker movement is an organization that seeks to give aid in all these social ills in our society. So we have social development courses that are coming up online. It will be completely free. We have to people spiritually, mentally, and physically. That's what we seek to do through the Difference Maker movement. We're doing it all in love. It's nothing religious stuff. No matter what race you are, what age you are, we don't discriminate. If you need help, we're going to provide that help.
And how do you go about saying, okay, well, this person needs this help or this level of resources? This is how we're going to attack, or this is how we're going to approach the situation. Do people just reach out to you? Do you see instances and say, okay, well, I think we can help this person? How does the need meet the resources?
Right, all of the above. So sometimes people know what I do or word of mouth and they'll reach out to me. But we do it the process is that we have an online form where the person will fill out and they can now expound on the needs. And then we have an interview, because what happens is that in Trinidad and Tobago, you'll know that some people try to take advantage when you try to help them. And if we, providing people who take advantage, we are enabling them to continue doing that, and as well, we are utilizing our resources that can help someone who really. So we do, I wouldn't say vigorous, but we do a little screening to ensure that we give the people the aid they need. That online form is very important, and then we do a site visit to ensure that the person indeed needs the assistance. And then we move from there, mobilize resources and get it to them.
And is it a matter of saying, okay, well, you have contact information that people can get, both in terms of hopefully filling out that form to get that screening, to get help, or even if people have resources and they say, okay, well, I have the resources, but I don't necessarily have the time to get this to where it might do more good. How do people contact you or contact the movement?
Right, the best way is through our Facebook page, so we can process the message properly. That is on Facebook, The Maker Movement. Right, or you can send an email to grant.leg@gmail.com, gr.legacy@gmail.com. I don't know if I have a minute to just thank some of the people who helped the Difference Maker movement.
Please, that'll be a closing statement.
Sorry.
Yes,
okay,
go ahead.
So that would be the presentation. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, man, go ahead. That's the closing statement.
College Shogunus alumni and right, brotherhood. The old boys saying that to my old school is because they help extensively. Post something up in a group, family in need, they rally around the resources and we get it done. Rec boys from Cuba, they also the people, my family, the boards, the Franklins and Grants, they are always helpful. So I just wanted to show more people, but when things are needed in an expeditious way, those are the organizations or body of people that I can depend on.
All right, so you want to thank you so much, Kyle, Difference Maker Grant, for being a part of it and putting and shining that light forward in a time that is really necessary. And we want to thank you on behalf of the entire news team for joining us this evening. I'm DK Ronstar. Have a good night.